there was a after a few months when the lockdown kind of finally ended, and I actually got sort of offered my old job back. But then at that point, I think if I recall correctly, the God Whale had initially made his first buy, and so that kind of set
Mm-hmm.
a higher price ceiling for Hex. And I figured if I continued to ladder carefully, I might be able to live off Hex in a way where I just never have to go back. And that turned out to be the case. So yeah, really
Yeah,
glad for that. Shout out
that's what I
to
wanted to ask
Richard and Godwill for
Richard
that
and
perfect
Godwell. Well,
storm
many
of
thanks.
events. Yeah, yeah,
Many thanks to them. Yeah. Well,
yeah,
that's why I just wanted to ask you too. I mean, as far as I know, you're doing full time crypto right now, right?
yeah. Hmm.
So how did what does that mean? Like I knew what it meant in 2017, 2018, but today, what does it mean? Like for how long have you been doing it? What is the day to day like? Are you and you can talk as much as or as little as you want about how you're doing investment wise, but just
Yeah,
just curious, like how does one do that? What was your journey for that?
yeah. Of course. I mean, I think Hex kind of flips that whole mental model sort of on its head in its own way, because when you're talking about full time crypto outside of Hex, that there's an entire industry that where that there's like people that work at news sites, and people that have their own streams that work that show coins and show their own referral links and stuff like
Hmm.
that. But funny enough, because of the way Hex works, and the way, and my timing in as far as when I got into it, it works for me in such a way that I don't have to actually do any of that. And um, it really set me free in a way where um, I literally don't have to exchange my money for time in a way that all these other people do, and even in the mainstream crypto industry, so to speak. So I mean, yeah, I have to admit that maybe my day-to-day life could be more structured. It's sort of haphazard in a way where I kind of, when I wake up, I usually just check the price charts, and I spend most of my waking hours just interacting with people on Telegram and Twitter, and that's really it. Like, it sounds so stupid, like once I once I say it like that, but that really is a testament to the power of Hex, and how it freed me from having to actually work corporate-esque job, even within the crypto industry. And there's a huge industry um, with um, all the centralized exchanges and all the news sites and stuff like that. And yeah, so then it's just funny that with Hex, like I haven't had to do any of that. So yeah.
So when you say with Hex, is it like, and again, talk as much or as little as you want about it, but just is it like laddering out? You set yourself up good in the bull market. Like, how is it possible to do such a thing, especially now that we're in this horrendous bear market that's been that may go on for a little
Yeah,
bit longer, but you seem to be
yeah,
doing fine. Like
yeah,
I
of
think
course.
that's
Yeah, I think part of it is yeah, of course, I think is good laddering, because that's something that the Hex community preached extensively, during launch phase, and the year after, is like properly setting up ladders, so that you just had something coming out every, like, whatever time interval you chose, like a week or a month or a quarter. And
mm,
so yeah, so I basically I guess I won't tell too much about my strategy, but I
yeah,
do have like an annual ladder, mostly. um I I think most hexagons naturally just did this, but basically, my biggest ladder is one that centers around my birthday. So every year around
yeah,
my birthday,
yeah.
I have one coming up, and then and you just kind of nested smaller ladders in between every year. And also just keep some liquid on the side, just in case. Although that's for me, it's kind of hard to keep liquid these days with all these sacrifice phases going on, and all these different opportunities
Yeah.
popping up. So Yeah.
So how do you deal with that when there's these sacrifices, there are all these interesting projects, there's all the derivatives that came out. How do you manage going full-time crypto, having passive income, and then having a liquid stack? How do you know what do you find yourself like, I just can't do it, or you find yourself, okay, I'll move some stuff around, I'll make it work because I think this will be good longer term too, and then maybe I'll turn it back into hex later or whatever.
Yeah.
What are some of the things you went through with that?
Yeah, it's tough. I think you just really have to do your due diligence with every single project and kind of assess for yourself whether this project is helpful to the community and whether it will benefit PulseChain and thrive on it. So I have passed up on a lot of different projects, sacrifice phases here and there, just because I felt that maybe not that I necessarily didn't have faith in them, but I felt that you also kind of have to weigh that against the opportunity cost of just holding the hex or investing that later into like Pulse or PulseX, because I think in the grand hierarchy of things, obviously the things that RH created are going to be always at the top. So yeah, you
Yeah,
just kind of
most
have
confidence
to
in.
assess that for yourself. Everybody that's thinking of throwing sacrifice funds around. So yeah, so there's that, and I also appreciate Alex a lot from Hedron because instead of making a sacrifice phase, he created Hedron and gave people Hedron for free based on their stakes. So right out the gate, everybody had 2.5 years worth of Hedron to mint for free, and to do what they wish for it. So yeah, that's one thing I really appreciate with him, and I guess we can talk more about it later. But I really like how he completed his ecosystem with Icosa coming out, and
Absolutely.
I aped into that quite a bit. So yeah, there's that. So yeah,
Yeah.
even there's it's just going back to your whole thing about the ladders. It's also great to have Hedron coming out that you can mint daily, because for people that that may have not laddered you know correctly, or if they didn't set up ladders the way they initially wanted, they at least have a little bit of money coming out that they can extract from Hedron every day, if free based on their stakes, if they need it. So yeah, it's a really great thing that that Alex designed Hedron the way he did. So yeah, shout out to him there.
Yeah, shout out to Alex for sure. And
Yeah,
yeah, we'll talk about Maximus stuff in a bit too.
yeah.
But yeah, with is there anything that anything you feel like you need to pay more attention to, or I guess the lifestyle of just being full-time crypto and just living off of that? Is there certain things you gotta, oh, I'd like to do this but I can't, other than you got to be careful,
Mm,
sacrifice phases, and getting rid of some of your liquid stuff, especially if you know you're not going to see it for a while. If it's a sacrifice that won't come out until after PulseChain launch, that
yeah.
could be 2026 or something. No, just kidding. No.
Oh man.
It'll be sooner than that. It'll be sooner
Yeah.
than that, probably.
Hopefully. Yeah.
Yeah. But are there things where I guess do you feel like you're enjoying the lifestyle, or the things that you wish you could, if you were working a full-time job, you had income coming in? I guess what are the pros and cons with that? Having a job, investing that money into crypto, versus going full-time crypto, living off passive income.
Yeah, that's a very good question. I do think that yeah, even Richard talks about this once in a while, where he says that he prefers people actually have work outside of crypto, because that's fresh money that they can use to come in and buy more crypto, and pump the price and make it go up into the right. So in that regard, I do kind of um I do wish that I had work outside of crypto so that I can get more in, and just kind of keep dollar cost averaging in, um, and so yeah, there's a little element of that, but I've to kind of mitigate that, I generally I'm not a very big spender, and I try to keep my expenses under um under control, and I'm not going crazy by buying random stuff. Just trying to keep it to what I need to survive and pay my bills,
So like
especially
two
because
Lambos, just two.
and, yeah,
Yeah.
and yeah, probably McLaren too. That's just no, but
Oh, I was in
uh,
Dubai and I saw a McLaren dealership, and I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa! That was a long time
yeah,
ago too. I mean, there are more places now, but that was
yeah,
like, whoa! I never saw that
yeah,
before.
yeah. But yeah, I mean, uh, I- and another thing with that is also that I'm realizing that the more hex I sell to survive, the higher my opportunity cost, because that's less hex copied over when when PulseChain
Yeah,
finally comes online. So that there's a little element of that, and so I'm trying to be as frugal as possible and just not spend money on things that I don't need. So yeah.
how would you DCA into getting more hex? Like, is there a way to do it? Your full time crypto, is there a way to get more hex without using income? I mean, would it involve, what dare I say, trading? To try to like make some trades, flip
Hmm.
that, turn that into more hex. What are the ways, if you're just in crypto, you don't have income, how can you get more of what you want, such as hex, for
Yeah.
example?
Unfortunately, yeah, the reality of that means that there is some trading involved, and so I do try to keep that to a minimum. But some of the things that people can do is that fellow hexagons, that they can consider, for example, like selling the hedron into hex, or more recently we have the forks of Ethereum Fair and Ethereum POW, and
I've heard of them.
yeah, yeah. It's been a contentious subject in the hex community
Yeah.
that we could probably expand on later.
Mm.
But yeah, I'm still, I haven't really bridged anything over yet. I'm still kind of waiting for things to kind of settle down, and just to make sure that the bridges are safe to actually use. But and I know some people have gone the centralized exchange route, where they send funds to like Kraken, or I forgot the other one. I think it was FTX or something, but one of those, or
Yeah, one of the
Poloniex.
centralized ones. Poloniex,
Yeah,
yeah.
per
There you go.
Poloniex. There we go. Yeah. And so those are even though we like to kind of crap on centralized exchanges for being middlemen, they do serve. They are kind of a functional evil that we have to put up with, and sometimes that we can use to our advantage in cases like these, where um they're actually better choices instead of these decentralized bridges, because they, to some certain extent, you can that you'll be able to swap one blockchain asset for another, and you
Yeah.
just have to put up with their block times, because they have to wait for a certain block count to for you to be able to access your money, and obviously they take a little fee for all the exchange and all that. So yeah,
Is
just
it
stuff that we have to put up with.
the RH quote is there's three people that make money in crypto: exchanges, holders, and founders.
Yeah.
Everyone keeps saying two, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure it was three. Maybe he dropped exchanges at some point, but I remember
He
clearly it was
Yeah,
exchanges.
it depends. He uses that quote a lot, and sometimes he says two, founders and uh founders and holders.